So please make a short introduction about the professional background. Jawad is president of the Tech Ball France. Please go on.
So, first of all, thank you very much for this opportunity. I would like to apologize because my English is not so good, so you have to apologize me sometime when I'm looking for my words. A quick background. I'm coming from football. I was a professional football player and Moroccan international in the first team for 18 years. I made most of my career in France, and I wasn't supposed to play football at the beginning because my father, who passed away unfortunately, didn't want me to make a football career. So I started with studying, and at 18 years in a regional championship, a really small division, sometimes someone came and saw me playing in a game where I scored 5 times, and then it was the déclic, how we say in French. So I finished my career 5 years ago, and I started to develop and promote tech ball with the guys. I usually say that there is no luck in life and no hazard, so tech ball came when I finished my career. And I was the first one to join Victor Hussar and Gabor Borsani and Jory Gatian in this amazing adventure.
Yeah. So how is the strategy of tech ball as I won't say new, but is a kind of sports that's getting in media, that's getting noticed worldwide? What's the strategy behind it?
Are you talking about the business part or the sports development part? Because there's 2 institutions in tech.
Okay, so please, you can say both are parts.
Both? Okay. First of all, what do you know exactly about tech ball? In a few words.
I know it's a amazing sport because you can take to whatever you want. You don't need much space. It's a very versatile activity that you can practice by yourself. You can practice with another person. You can practice as an amateur or a professional. So I compare with other kinds of sports that need huge infrastructure. I think tech ball as a sport is really unique, and it's you should think that soccer, like football, is the most played sport in the world. You can adapt, you can use the same players, and they mostly do the same moves. So I think it's nice.
So thank you very much for the description, but it's almost 1% of all the concept. So I'm really happy to have this opportunity to present you and introduce you everything. So first of all, I will talk about the business part. So tech ball, like you said, is based on a concept based on this new designed equipment and innovative equipment, which is looking like a ping pong table, but it's curved. This is the innovation. So in a commercial point of view, the whole concept is based on this equipment, like I said, but it's so much more because it's a multifunctional equipment where you can play 5 disciplines. You can play the football version that you explained. There is a ping pong version, a tennis version, a volleyball version, and another one which we called catch, which is related to handball. In a commercial point of view, this gave more and more advantages to our equipment for being the equipment of the new generations. Because like you said, in a small place, you have a lot of opportunities to practice sport for your well-being, but also and in this period it means more for your mentality, because all the studies shows that when you are doing sport regularly, you are in a better condition mentally. So with these advantages in the concept, we added the fact that there is no segregation between men's and women's. young and old, which means that you can play on the table with no rules or clear rules about your age or your sex or this kind of thing, your religion or where do you come from. When you practice on the table, we don't care about where are you coming. Like McDonald's says, come as you are, and just have fun. And this gives a lot of advantage to our equipment, which I'm happy to say every time that it's going to be a revolution in his domain, but it's going to be a revolution because, first of all, the idea of a revolution, comes with 3 steps. The first one is that you say that no, it's ridiculous, and maybe when I'm explaining you this, you can say to yourself that look, it's ridiculous to say that you are going to be a revolution. The second step is that you become to say, okay, it's coming serious. Maybe it could be even dangerous for other brands or other practices. And the third step, it's become obvious. And to be honest, this is the steps that we are reaching now at TechBall. I mean, in a business point of view, because our equipment in a small area presents a lot of advantages. So this concept in a business point of view have an amazing potential because the new generations, and this is something that I experienced here in France and all over the world when I'm traveling, they are not so interested about doing sports in an old way. And the esports is an example. They want to have their own sports, their own practices, their own equipments for saying maybe in 30, 40, 50 years to their sons that, look, this equipment is our generation. And this is what TechBall will be in a term of equipments for this new generation related to all the advantage that I just explained. So this was for the business part. Now we have the institutional part, in the sports development, which is developed by the International Federation, FITEC, the International Federation of TechBall. And for this part, it's only the sport TechBall that we are developing. Our aim is to become Olympic. And now you can say in the revolution process that I told you that maybe I'm ridiculous.
No, I go to the top one. So you are right. You just have to go through.
Exactly. So FITEC was created in 2017, and I'm happy to tell you that I'm one of the founding members, which is something that I'm very, very proud of, and much more than my career, than my sports career, which can look weird for some people, but this also can show you how I'm involved in this TechBall development. So far we organized many events with 3 world championships. The first one in 2017 we had 20 countries. The second one that I had the chance to organize in France, we had 42 countries, and last December was the third championship, and we had 58 countries. All over the world now, we have 94 entities, TechBall National Federation, and they all have the same aim to develop the sport with licenses, clubs, training station, formation station for referees, develop a sport, as it has to be developed. I usually say as a football player that we are the FIFA in the first year of his existence.
Makes sense. So you guys are taking care of 2 important situations: the federation and the TechBall as a business model, as a strategy, and both have to walk along to make sure, because you just said you want to put TechBall in the Olympics or make it like major worldwide. So the international federation and the national federations and the boards and all the teams has to be linked to work well. Then the business can in the sport can walk like easily and with no trouble.
This is two separate entities. They are totally independent. Of course, that there is a link because in one part you have the equipment that you need to develop the sport, but this is two independent entities.
Sure.
But to be honest, it's not the case, of course.
Yeah.
But to be honest, I can dream about a new model of how you can finance your sport, because at a point, if you can reach the case where your business development can finance your sport development, then it will be something successful, in my opinion.
Sure. So how is this whole crisis is changing or switching or switching or adapt your strategy? What you can learn or how positive everything is doing, so you can afterwards you guys can work more or better.
To be honest, it doesn't really affect our strategy because it's a long-term strategy, but we decided also to have our impact on it, and the board of TechBall commit to not give tables for free, but to give an amazing discount on tables, to give the opportunity to every people to make some sport in at house with the family, with the kids, just to be in a good healthy, if I can say. And to be honest, I just have a friend a couple of days ago who told me, "Look, Jawad, can you manage a delivery of one of your table at my house, because we have a ping pong table and we are getting bored of playing only ping pong. Is it possible for you to send us a table, because with yours we can play the 5 sports, and we even have a fitness program on our tables." So I would like to say that this is something that everybody can have on his garden or at home if he got the place for, and stay being in a well condition by doing sport, but in a fun way. And this is how it's good, because I didn't tell you that the table is available also for disabled people because of the curved, and this is how we can include every people around the table. So for the quarantine, we made a special offer where there's of course no business goals. The aim is only to offer the opportunity to every people who can afford it to have a table on his garden and to make sports with his kids, and in a fun way, just to not become crazy also.
Perfect. So Ron just have asked us about South America. What can you tell? How is the development of TechBall in South America, if you know anything?
Every time I will ask you the following question: is it in a business point of view or in a sports point of view?
You can tell both. I don't know how was his question.
So I'm not in charge of South America in a business point of view, so it's not easy for me to answer to this question. But I can tell you that there is a big enthusiasm about TechBall in South America, and of course this is one of the biggest market in my point of view, because you can play for Brazil, for example, they used to play football on every area. So
even the professional players, they sometimes do the warm-ups with the TechBall table. We see this, and so it's a really good approach.
Luis, regarding the football players, it's much more than that. It's much more, because
but I can see the fans looking at them and trying to do the same thing. So we do.
Yeah, of course. And this is why TechBall is addictive, because you can say that it's fun. After all, it's fun, even if you are not a football player. And I can challenge everyone who can come to Paris, and after, even if he doesn't play football, after 1 month of training, he can be a really good player of tegball. And this is where there's an innovation. But regarding the football part, I have a little bit of credibility because I was a former football player. Every boring training that you can make on a regular football training, you can make it in a funny way with the table. Even the physical condition, which is the something that every football player doesn't like, but you need to make some. We can adapt it on the table. So there is also this is also a tool for perfectionism, if it's the right word in English, and to develop your skills, by the way.
All right. So today we have talked to Jawad. He's the president of Tegball France. So please do make your final statement, and appreciate your time and all your information you have shared with us.
Thank you very much, Luis. No, I don't have something really interesting to tell you after all I said. Just keeping saying the words in a friendly way that this is going to be a revolution, and it already started, because, like I said, the new generation who wants to zap on to change every minute what they are doing, tegball can offer them this opportunity to how can I say, to keep doing good thing for their health in a funny way, like esports that I say they bring sports to on a digital way. And for me, there is a melt to do with esports. I'm not talking just with tegball, but with every sport, because doing only esports is not so healthy. But if you can arrange and manage some tournaments where you can combine the results of esports with the results of a true sport, then there is the healthy part, which can be important. So, despite of this, thank you very much, Luis, for this opportunity. And anytime you want, feel free to ask.
All right. Thank you. Have a great day. Take care. Bye-bye.
Bye. Muito obrigado.